and the belief in yourself at 44, 45 years old to still be not just world class, but one of the best in the world.
Thank you.
That was just, it was just extraordinary that you were able to keep that level of skill. I just want to talk to you about your lifestyle and your training, and what was it about your preparation, the way you lived, that gave you this incredibly long career?
My mother and father, Bernard Sr. and Shirley Hopkins, my mother, they had a different way of at that time, the way they lived. I come up, I told you again, you know, a big family, 4 sisters and the rest boys. I'm the second oldest. And they both, my mother and father, was dead before 60. Not because of an accident, not because of some, you know, violent crime or anything like that. Lifestyle. I grew up around a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of stuff. I used to watch my father take syringes and hide them up at the woodwork of the front of the door up top, and I used to climb up there with a chair and get it and hand it to my mom, and she said, "Where you get that from?" And I used to say it, and I realized I was starting something. I had to be about maybe 6, maybe 7. And I realized I was starting something, so I no longer used to see him put it up there or go up there and get it. And so it's the lifestyle. I seen a lot of lifestyle that I knew. And the history, too, of Philadelphia. Any little success you get, you think you're world champion. No, you're a regional champion. You're a Pennsylvania champion. A lot of guys actually wasn't disciplined to take it to the next level. They became stars in their own neighborhood. They became stars in their own city. I wanted to be bigger than that. And so, and knowing it and saying it is one thing. But just as I speak now, as that conviction that I've continued to walk that walk and talk the talk, that drove me to be able to never give up and never waver from what I believe. So that there helped me stay away from the things that is right in front of your face and most of the time. When you win, they have after parties with Bernard, with Champ. He'll pop up upstairs. He getting in a hot tub. I go right to my room. I wasn't a monk, but I go right to my room because 90% of people that's at that party, maybe half of them was rooting against me. And then second, they either smoking, drinking, snorting, or anything else. I wasn't about that life. I wasn't about that when I was a hoodlum in the streets. I was about having things that I felt that my parents didn't have enough to give us that life that we just seen right 3 blocks from where we lived. And sometimes, especially in California, you can make 2 turns and you in somewhere where you be like, well, hold up, who hit the lottery? So I wanted that life in a different way and got a chance to now have it and some through the travels and the time that I've been on this earth, where those 2 life experience that I look at, 3 lives that I lived, just the 3rd one, that any of those times could have been over. That kept me disciplined in between fights. The years that I gotta have some credit, gotta give credit to that thinking and that experience of seeing my mother and father die before 60 because of lifestyle. My father had shot out kid liver, shot his liver out at 57. I feel the best. You look great. I know I feel great. I know I look great. And they was already gone. I'm gonna stay around one more. I'm gonna chase this dream. I'm gonna chase that gold. I'm gonna make this history because Ray Robinson didn't do it. I'm gonna jump up 2 weight classes and fight Tarver.
How old were you when you fought Tarver?
48, 49.
You know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
So,
in Atlantic City. Again,
how were you able to do that? What separates you physically from all those fighters that deteriorated young in their career? Is it your defense? Like, is it just technique? Like, what?
It was a combination as a recipe. It was all above. Break them down to you. I'm going to break them down to you.
Okay.
It was two of those that you mentioned. Discipline, of course. Protecting yourself at all times in that ring, even though you're still going to get hit. But you want to hit more than you get hit, obviously. The wear and tear. Lifestyle. Joe, the lifestyle. What kept me in the business of boxing physically was not just my talent. I'm not downplaying it by no means. Roy Jones was talented than me. Oscar De La Hoya, Trinidad was talented than Bernard Hopkins. Oh, Bernard, come on now. You had to. No, I ain't talking. I'm talking about as far as all around skills. But one thing I did have, I had the room and ability to do what? To reinvent myself, to make sure that I don't be one way all the time. I learned styles that Roy possessed. I learned styles that Trinidad possessed. I learned the street Philadelphia mentality of the history of Philadelphia. Come in, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I learned all that stuff and wrapped it up in a recipe, and now the main course was served. I learned so many things through time and experience, up or down, bad or good, like or dislike. I learned all these things and put them together in a proper space. And I said, guess what? If I'm in there with a guy that's strong the first couple of rounds, I'm going to know it without showing him I'm being leery of him. And once I identify that, it takes about 2 or 3 rounds. Why you think they said he's a slow starter? He's boring the first 4 or 5 fights. Joe, you watch me. You heard him say, all the commentators, they snoring. Around the 4th round, they snoring. But then I understand what I have to do.
Turn up the gas.
Not only, turn up the gas, but disarm them. Disarm them mentally, which control, from my perspective, everything you do tomorrow. Everything you do the next round. Everything you think about doing, if I put doubt in your mind and come to the ring prepared physically to take you to that task of whether you believe what you say. That's D-block. And then you take that experience, which I've had, not bragging and boasting about it, but it's my history, it's part of my story. Without that, I'm not here.